Greetings, everyone. I wanted to show you some really quick, easy, and minimal amount of supplies cards to make today. And this is an example of what we're going to be doing. These are made with they're made with 2 pieces of cardstock, and they're made with a 1 6x6 piece of designer series paper. I am using the Flowers for Every Season. I've got several examples of it. These use our new in colors, and I wanted you to see how quick and easy it is to make a variety of cards to have on hand, and they just really put out the love. Not thinking of the right word, but they radiate the love because these are all handmade cards. A piece of paper with a hug in the middle. So let's get started. For this one, I'm going to show you from step by step how to do these. So for today, we are going to use this piece of Misty Moonlight paper from the Flowers for Every Season paper. And you can tell there's all sorts of, this even has some Christmas paper on it. There's 48 sheets and for $11.50, and they are beautiful. So I've decided I'm going to cut the cardstock first. I'm using a Misty Moonlight piece of cardstock. I'm going to line it up at 4 1/4. Gently just push, don't use a lot of pressure with our trimmer, and cut it in half. I'm going to fold it in half after we do the other one. And then this is thick white cardstock. I'm going to do that the other way, so I'm going to cut that at 5 1/2, which will give me 2 card bases. And I am going to go ahead and use my bone folder. I'm going to fold it in half. All right, the bone folder's going to make it look really great. Nice crisp crease. And I love this bone folder because it makes me look good. So these don't take but a minute to do. So let's keep going here. I know so many of you know exactly how to do all this, but for a change, I decided that maybe I'd start, for those who don't, get to see how to build a card. Last one. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to set those aside, and we are going to cut our 6x6 paper. And so I'm going to bring the trimmer back in. And this trimmer is marvelous because it has not only cutting but scoring. So our first cut with our 6x6 paper, and I've written it out not only for myself, I pretty much memorized it, but I'm not sure if you can see it, but I will show it to you. Okay, we're going to line up our paper up at 4, so we're going to be cutting 2 inches off. And we're going to set the 4x6 piece of paper to the side for a moment. We're going to turn our 2x6 the long ways. We're going to cut 3/4 of an inch off. So we're going to line it up at 5 1/4, or over here at 3/4 of a quarter, and we're going to set that to the side. We're then going to bring in our 4x6 piece of paper. We're going to turn it to the long side, and again, we are going to cut it line it up at 4 inches, which is going to give us a 2x4 piece of paper. Set that there. Now what we have left is a 4x4 square of paper. And I'm going to take this, and I hope you can see this well, and I'm going to line my points up right where the cutting blade goes. Oops, it moved a little bit. I want to get that as close as we can, holding down our plastic guide here. Again, just gently pushing it up and down. So now what we have here is the paper cut to make 4 cards. Okay? So let's get going on our cards. I'm going to bring in the card bases, and I've got 2 of each color, as you know, and they're cut. This is called hot dog style, and some because it's a dog, and this is called hamburger and you can use this either way. So here we've got these 4 cards, and so what I do next is I go ahead and I just start placing. Now, it doesn't really matter how you do this. You can do whatever your heart desires. I've just decided that the easiest to do is this. Okay, so I've got my four cards, and they have their decorative paper on them. And then I wasn't thinking, because I have already stamped my, oh boy, Bonnie. I've already stamped my sentiments, but they're not going to show up too well on here, but we're going to work that out. So now what we're going to do is place our sentiments, and these are all sentiments are all from the So Sentimental stamp set, and these are from it has a bundle with dies in it, and that goes on there. And I just wasn't thinking about white on white. But we're going to go ahead and finish this, because why not? Now you'll get to see how it looks this way, and I'll show you some other options. So this is how simple it is. Now you've got 4 cards with 4 different kind of sentiments, and you'll have them ready to rock and roll and go when you need them. So the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and take that off. I'm going to use the new stamp and seal. I'm going to put these others to the side while I do this. And our stamp and seal is very quiet, not the click, click, click that we're used to. And if you go slow, it works just very, very slick. So we've got that on there. I'm going to use my dimensionals, which I know I have here. I probably covered them up. They're usually behind something. Okay, they're here. I know they are because I pulled them out in preparation. Okay, where are they? Oh, this always happens. They fell down. So I'm going to go ahead and use some dimensionals to go ahead. Oops, let's move this out of the way, and this. And go ahead and tack them down. One of the reasons I wanted to use the white cardstock, I wanted to use this paper, and truly the white and the misty moonlight are the only 2 colors, but it's always nice to use white because you've got a nice thick card base and you don't have to worry about putting a lighter color for your sentiment on the inside. So you can look at this and say, this is what I like, or nope, not my deal, but I'm going to get a good idea of how I can do this. I know many of you have loads of designer series paper at home, and you'd like to get to use it. And that's one of my goals, is to use what I have. So this one, your friendship is a blessing. I try to line my cards up straight so I get this straight. Now we're going to do the white ones, and again, very simple. I'm going to go ahead and use the other triangle and our very quiet snail and just put it down here. This is wishing you much happiness today and always. And just going to use a couple of dimensionals. A lot of times I use more, but in the interest of time. And if you notice, once I put the dimensionals on, I go ahead and peel the top off, but if I pinch it with my fingernail, it comes off a lot easier. And got the last one, and we're going to put this down here. I wish I knew what the name of this flower is. It's probably very obvious. It's just the fact that it's blue that's throwing me. Kind of a winter blue. And we're going to be sending some healing hugs with this one. And again, I'm going to grab a couple of dimensionals, give them a pinch. And put them on the card. Now that is how quickly I just made 4 cards, and certainly you can do the same. Now, if you wanted to make this a little bit more special, and I don't have my take my pick tool, which I love, so I'm going to use my scissors, but They're the best. I'm going to take some of the enamel dots, our in color enamel dots, which are back in stock, and just add them. And even that little bit just gives you an idea of it, just a step up with the card. Although I think these cards are great, just as they are, because they're made with love. They're handmade, and they're made with love. I always say made with love, not perfection. So that gives you an idea of what you can do to add a little color. So we've got these 4 cards, and this is the Misty Moonlight in colors. And we've got these 4 cards, and this is the magenta and the jade. And then for those of you that do have some supplies at home and want to make these a little fancier, I have used the Bumblebee. All these cards are on the basic white, thick cardstock. I went ahead and used a quarter sheet, 5 1/4 by 4 of the Bumblebee and the Jade. And I used another sheet of the paper from that designer series paper, the sunflower paper. I also used the Celebrate sunflower stamp set in bundle. And I went ahead and cut out my die cuts. I stamped behind them. There's a little sunflower that I just stamped, and you can see this one's darker, this one's lighter. And I also used the Bumblebee gingham ribbon, and I made these a little bit fancier, but again, very simple, 4 cards, and they came together very quickly with all sorts of different sentiments. So that's what I wanted to show you today, and I hope you enjoy it. I do want to tell you a little bit about the products I use. This is the Flowers for All Season stamp pack, and it's $11.50 for 48 sheets of paper, 6x6 paper, so it goes a long way, and it's very versatile. And if you wanted to do this economically, you can certainly get the 8.5 by 11 cardstock assortment. You're going to get the 2020 to 2022 in colors. That would give you the in colors that are used in all those papers. So then you add some black ink and adhesives if you have a punch, or you can cut a square, you can do whatever you want, and you can make 4 cards very quickly, have them on hand, and impress everybody in your family and friends. So here we go. Here I have made these 4 right in front of you quickly, and I've got these 4 and then our stepped up version. So there's 12 cards with a minimum amount of work and supplies. Now, if you've enjoyed learning this today, and I hope you have, I would really appreciate it if you would comment and share my video. I do want to thank Carrie Blake for sharing this idea. She's a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Michigan, and that is what we do. We help each other out, and she was gracious enough to let me borrow her ideas. So let me know what you think, and until the next time, hope all goes well. Bye.